Red Dead Redemption was met with critical acclaim when it released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 back in 2010. Now, I picked up the game on launch day and had an absolute blast with it. Rockstar really crafted something special with their take on what is essentially GTA meets the Wild West. With the release of Red Dead on the Switch, you're probably wondering if the port on Nintendo's console is up to snuff. Well, that's exactly what we're here to talk about. Let's get into it. Danny from the Famicast here. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Sound off in the comments down below, and we may read it out on our bi-weekly show called the Famicast. Today, though, we're taking a look at the Nintendo Switch version of Red Dead Redemption in this review. Red Dead puts players in the role of the rough-and-tumble outlaw John Marston, who's on a quest to bring his former partner into justice. Along the way, you meet up with tons of characters that help bring Rockstar's version of the Old West alive. Things range from seemingly accurate period portrayals of people to downright wacky at times. That's what makes this game fun to me. The outlandish characters, a main character with misplaced sense of self-righteousness from time to time, all wrapped up in a cool Western setting, really make this game unique. There are over 50 story missions in the main game alongside something that's called stranger missions, and also other quests and events that will happen in the game world. I think story missions are pretty self-explanatory, so basically on the map these lettered icons are kind of scattered around, and that indicates like a character mission that you can interact with. Basically you go there and then you can continue with the story. Stranger missions are similar but aren't necessarily made to make progress in the story. Basically with that, there's a variety of people that you'll come across in the game world and ask you to carry out some various tasks, like go here and do this, look for somebody, or something like that. Now with the stranger missions, I think they're a really nice change of pace from the story, and they really help keep things fresh. Also included with its release, Undead Nightmare puts you in the same game world, with the only caveat being that the world is now filled with zombies. Now it's not overly long, but it's an interesting hodgepodge that is actually pretty unique. Here ammunition is scarce and the law is essentially non-existent. You'll basically need to do everything you can in order to just survive. Now this mode is absolutely worth playing, and of course, like I said, you'll come across zombies, but you'll also come across all sorts of other like mythological or creatures and stuff like that too. Honestly, I'm really glad that this is included here. It's a fun addition to an already stacked game. Now, controls in Red Dead are pretty easy to get used to if you're familiar with Rockstar's other open-world games, or just kind of like 3D action-adventure games in general. You can run with B, or if you hold it, you'll run. If you tap, you'll sprint. You can ride horses with X, you can jump with Y. If you hold L, you'll bring up the weapon wheel that allows you to choose from a variety of different pistols, revolvers, rifles, a lasso, knives, explosives, and more. And from here, you can basically aim with ZL and then fire with ZR. There's also a cover system that's present in the game that can be implemented with the press of R. Honestly, I think the system mostly works, but if you're caught up in some tricky environments like rocks, really tight hallways, or something like that, it sometimes doesn't seem to go as intended. Deadeye is a feature that allows players to slow down time to target specific parts of enemies and then wreak havoc. Now this is used by pressing in the right stick while you're aiming. Now this can be very useful, especially in situations with tons of enemies, but honestly I would often forget to use it due to the game's semi-auto targeting system here. Now what do I mean by this? Well, in most cases, if you press the aim button, it'll kind of lock the reticle right on the enemies or animals or whatever is in the area, which makes it quite a bit easier to take them out. This can be adjusted and you can turn it off and kind of make it a little bit more difficult yourself, but having this on made the game a little bit more enjoyable for me. Of course, for you guys out there, feel free to play however you like and to have fun with the game. Now, of course, being an open world game, there really is a lot of freedom with what you can do outside of the story. I mean, there's tons of random encounters, wild animals to look out for, great places to visit, and a nice variety to the gameplay. And there's also a handful of different ways to travel, horse, cart, train, and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. Now, even though this game is over a decade old, the Western world that Rockstar crafted still comes across very well in this Nintendo Switch port. Character models are nicely detailed, animations look great, and I think the game world overall just looks fantastic. Now this version of the game also runs pretty smoothly. It's locked at 30 frames per second, with just a few instances of slowdown. I mainly saw this happen around Thieves Landing during my time with the game. In handheld mode, the game still plays and performs quite nicely. It looks sharp, especially on a Switch OLED screen. Now the performance issue, I just mentioned above, kind of some slowdown from here and there. That's pretty consistent regardless of whether you're playing on TV or on handheld. So yeah, I mean overall though, I think that's pretty great. Now, in terms of sound, the soundtrack here is awesome. It provides like this really cool Western feel, something that you'd see right out of the movies. The voice acting is also stellar, with not only from the main characters nailing their performances, but NPCs as well. All of this kind of mixed together really brings this world alive with, like I said, this playful banter, and even just random comments from no-name characters and stuff like that. It's really cool. My only gripe with the game is that it does seem to be a little bit dark from time to time. Now, at first I thought it was just the settings on my TV, but this also persisted when I was playing the game in handheld mode. It might take me a little bit more time to kind of tinker with the settings and stuff like that, but I think this is something that you should be aware of before picking up the game. Overall though, I mean, it's usually fine, but there are some times where it just might be super dark where you can barely see what's going on. Did any of you guys experience this? Be sure to sign up in the comments. I'm curious if it's just me or if it's something that's been happening to others out there too. It's been great going back to Red Dead Redemption after all these years. I think the story is still engaging and funny, the gameplay's solid, and the performance on the Switch is pretty good. Now, if you're a fan of the Old West and don't have a machine that can play something like Red Dead Redemption 2, I think this is an excellent way to enjoy something from that era. But let's go ahead and turn things over to you guys. Did you play Red Dead back in the day? Did you just pick it up for the first time with this release, either Switch or PlayStation 4? Who are some of your favorite characters in the game? Personally, I'm a huge fan of Seth and also Irish. Be sure to sign up in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please feel free to drop this video a like. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. We've got tons of podcasts, video reviews, looks at Japan exclusive events, merch, and a whole lot more. Again, this is Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.
I'm gonna tear up the rail track southwestern.